Don't ignore this psalm. If you found this video late at night, if your eyes are tired, but your mind refuses to rest, if your body is in bed, but your thoughts are still running, this is not a coincidence. There's a reason you are awake right now. And there is a reason Psalm 91 has waited for this exact moment. Many people struggle to sleep, not because they are not tired, but because night removes distractions. During the day, noise protects us, work protects us, movement protects us. But when night comes, silence arrives, and silence has a way of bringing everything back. The fears you avoided, the thoughts you pushed away, the quiet anxieties you never had time to name. This is why so many hearts feel heavier at night. Fear grows louder in the dark. Memories return. Worries multiply. You may feel unsafe, even in your own bed. You may feel watched by your thoughts. You may feel exposed. And if that is you tonight, this psalm is for you. Psalm 91 is not a psalm for noise. It is a psalm for shadows, for quiet rooms, for people who can't sleep. This psalm was written for moments when protection feels distant, when safety feels fragile, when fear whispers louder than faith. Before we read it, let your body slow down. Unclench your jaw, lower your shoulders, breathe in slowly, and breathe out even slower. You don't need to understand everything tonight. You don't need to fix your life. You don't need answers. You only need shelter. And Psalm 91 is a psalm about shelter. It speaks to those who feel unprotected, those who feel vulnerable, those who feel exposed when the world goes quiet. It does not promise that fear will disappear instantly. It promises something deeper: presence, covering, protection, even in darkness. As you listen, don't rush the words. Let them fall slowly. Let them settle. If you can't sleep, read this psalm slowly, because this psalm was written for nights like this. Stay here. There is no rush. Night does not need answers. Night needs safety. Psalm 91 does not begin with commands. It begins with a promise, a quiet one. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. This is not about passing through. It is about dwelling, staying, remaining, choosing a place of refuge when everything else feels unstable. The word shelter does not describe a fortress made of stone. It describes a place where fear loses its voice. And the word shadow is important. A shadow only exists when something stands close enough to cover you. This psalm does not say God watches from a distance. It says he is near enough to cast a shadow over you, close enough to cover you at night. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Notice the tone. This is not a cry of panic. It is not shouted. It is spoken slowly, like someone reminding their own heart of what is true. Refuge, fortress, trust. These words were not written for moments of strength. They were written for moments when strength is gone. He will surely save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. Some dangers are visible, others are hidden. The fowler's snare is not loud. It is silent, invisible, just like many of the fears that keep us awake. Anxiety rarely announces itself. It tightens quietly. It whispers. This psalm speaks to fears you cannot see, but still feel. He will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge. This is not the language of distance. It is the language of closeness, covering, warmth, protection that surrounds. Wings do not push away, they gather in. If you feel emotionally exposed tonight, if your thoughts feel unguarded, this verse is speaking to you. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. Faithfulness, not your faith, but his. This psalm does not rest on how strong you are. It rests on how constant he is. You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day. Night has its own terrors, thoughts that return, memories that replay, fears that grow in the dark. This psalm names the terror, not to amplify it, but to disarm it. You will not fear, not because fear never appears, but because fear does not rule, nor the arrow by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. This is a psalm for all hours, but it holds special power at night, because it reminds the soul of something essential. You are not unguarded when you sleep. Even when your mind is tired, even when your defenses are down, protection does not sleep. As these words settle, let your breathing slow again. Inhale gently, exhale longer. You are not alone in this room. You are not exposed. You are not forgotten. This psalm was not written to excite. It was written to quiet. And there is more, much more. Night has a way of making everything feel closer. Thoughts feel heavier. Rooms feel quieter. And fears feel more real. That is why Psalm 91 does not deny danger. It acknowledges it calmly. 8,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. This verse is not about numbers. It is about proximity. Fear often convinces us that danger is closer than it truly is, that harm is inevitable, that safety is fragile. This psalm interrupts that spiral. It says, "Not everything that surrounds you can touch you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked." In other words, there are battles happening that you are not meant to fight. Some dangers are real, but they are not yours to carry tonight. This is important for those who can't sleep, because sleeplessness often comes from trying to guard everything, trying to control every outcome, trying to stay alert, even when the body is exhausted. Psalm 91 releases you from that burden. If you say, "The Lord is my refuge," and you make the Most High your dwelling, notice the condition is not perfection. It is not strength. It is not clarity. It is where you choose to rest. No harm will overtake you. No disaster will come near your tent. Your tent represents your resting place, your inner space, your night. This psalm speaks directly to the moment when you lie down and feel most unprotected, for he will command his angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways. Even now, even here, protection is active, even when you are still. They will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. This is protection from unseen harm, from what you don't anticipate, from what you fear might happen while you are unaware. If your anxiety tells you that something bad will happen, the moment you relax, this verse answers that fear. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent. These are symbols of ancient fears, threats people respected, dangers that commanded attention. The psalm does not deny their existence. It places them under authority. Fear is real. but it is not in control. If you can't sleep tonight because your mind keeps scanning for danger, Psalm 91 gently tells your soul, you do not need to stay alert. You are guarded. Your job tonight is not to watch the night. It is to rest within it. Let your breathing slow again. Longer exhales. Softer thoughts. You are not surrendering to fear. You are surrendering fear. And there is still more to come, because the final words of this psalm are not spoken by fear. Something changes here. Up until now, the psalm has been spoken about God, about refuge, about protection. But now, the voice shifts. This is important, because fear often comes from feeling unseen, unnoticed, unaddressed. But in this part of Psalm 91, God speaks directly, not to crowds, not to nations, to one soul. He says, because he loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. This is not conditional on strength. It is not conditional on perfection. It is rooted in relationship, love, connection, trust. I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. To acknowledge God's name is not to recite it perfectly. It is to turn toward him instead of turning inward. He will call on me, and I will answer him. This matters deeply at night, because nighttime prayers are often not eloquent. They are quiet, fragmented, sometimes only felt, not spoken. This verse says, even that counts. I will be with him in trouble. Not after, not when it's over. In trouble, in the middle of it, in the quiet hours. If you are lying awake right now, your heart racing, your mind heavy, this line is for you. I will deliver him and honor him. Deliverance does not always mean immediate change. Sometimes it means sustained presence. Honor does not always mean elevation. Sometimes it means protection from collapse. With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. This is not a rush promise. It is a slow one. It speaks to endurance, to continuity, to the quiet strength of staying. Psalm 91 does not promise that night will disappear. It promises that night will not own you. That fear will not define you. That anxiety will not have the final word. If your body is tired, but your soul is still alert, this is where you rest. Not in explanations, not in control, in presence. Let that word settle. With him, you are not watching the night alone. You are not guarding yourself. Protection is already awake. And now, as we move forward, we will slow everything down even more, because Psalm 91 is not only meant to be read, it is meant to be received. Now, let's bring this psalm into your world, not the ancient world, not the desert, not the battlefield. Your room, your bed, this night, because anxiety today does not always come from visible danger. It comes from uncertainty, bills, health, family, decisions that feel heavy, a future you can't fully see. At night, these things grow louder. Your phone goes silent. The world stops moving, and suddenly your mind takes over. Psalm 91 speaks directly to this modern kind of fear. Fear without shape, fear without name, fear that shows up when you try to rest. You will not fear the terror of night. The terror of night today is not always physical. It is mental. It is the replaying of conversations, the imagining of worst-case scenarios, the pressure to solve tomorrow before sleep arrives. This psalm gently interrupts that pattern. It does not tell you to think harder. It tells you to dwell, to remain, to stay under covering. When Psalm 91 speaks of shelter, it is inviting you to stop scanning for threats. When it speaks of refuge, it is telling you that you don't need to guard everything. This is especially important if you are exhausted, because exhaustion does not come from doing too much. It comes from carrying too much. Tonight, Psalm 91 offers an exchange. Your vigilance for his protection, your fear for his presence, your restlessness for his covering. This is why reading this psalm slowly matters. Speed feeds anxiety. Slowness calms it. Each line is meant to slow your breathing. Each promise is meant to soften your body. If your heart races when you lie down, if sleep feels unsafe, if silence feels threatening, this psalm becomes your anchor. You do not need to fight sleep. You do not need to force rest. You simply stay under the words, under the shadow, under the wings. Protection at night does not always feel dramatic. Sometimes it feels quiet, like a deep breath, like a loosening chest, like the first moment your thoughts begin to fade. This is how peace begins, not suddenly, but gently. And now, as we move forward, we will enter the most calming part of this journey, a slow, rhythmic repetition, designed to carry your mind out of anxiety and into rest. Now we slow everything down. You don't need to follow every word. You don't need to stay alert. Let the psalm do the work. If your eyes are open, that's okay. If they are closed, that's okay too. Rest does not begin in the body. It begins in permission. So give yourself permission to stop watching the night, to stop guarding your thoughts, to stop preparing for danger. You are covered. Let these words repeat, not to inform you, but to calm you. You are under shelter. You are under covering. You are not exposed. The night is not stronger than protection. Breathe in slowly and breathe out gently. You are not forgotten. You are not vulnerable. You are not alone. The shadow of the Almighty does not move away when you sleep. It remains, even when your thoughts fade, even when awareness softens. Protection does not require your attention. God does not ask you to stay awake. He asks you to rest. Let that thought settle. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to sleep. Nothing bad needs to be solved right now. Nothing urgent needs your control. This moment is not for answers. It is for safety. Stay under the words, under the wings, under the presence. If a thought rises, let it pass. Do not follow it. Return to the rhythm. Covered, guarded, safe. The night is quieter now. Your breathing is slower. Your shoulders are softer. You do not need to check anything. You do not need to prepare. Psalm 91 is still speaking, even if you are no longer listening actively. And that is enough, because protection does not stop when consciousness fades. It continues. You don't need to respond. Just receive. Let these words pass through you, like a calm voice in a dark room. You are safe right now, not because everything is perfect, but because you are not alone. God is not watching you struggle from a distance. He is present in the stillness. Nothing is chasing you in this moment. Nothing is demanding your strength. You are allowed to soften. You are allowed to let go. Psalm 91 is not asking you to believe harder. It is reminding you that belief is already holding you. Even now, your fears are seen. Your exhaustion is understood. Your silence is heard. You don't have to explain yourself. God knows the weight you carry into the night. He knows the thoughts that return when lights go out. He knows how long you have been holding everything together. And still, He covers you. Not tomorrow, not later. Now, let your breathing fall into rhythm again. Slow, gentle, unforced. You are not responsible for the night. You are not required to stay alert. Angels guard what you cannot. Protection surrounds what you cannot control. You do not need to check the future tonight. You do not need to relive the past. This moment is held. If your mind drifts, that is okay. If sleep comes, that is okay. Nothing important will be missed. Psalm 91 does not disappear when your awareness fades. It stays. It remains over you, like a quiet promise that does not need words. You are sheltered. You are covered. You are watched over. And as this calm deepens, we will move gently toward the closing rhythm. Not an ending, but a soft continuation. There is nothing you need to do now. No effort, no response, no urgency. Just stay. The night does not need to be conquered. It only needs to be trusted. Psalm 91 has already been spoken. Its promises do not fade with silence. They remain, even when thoughts slow, even when awareness softens. If you are still awake, that's okay. If sleep is beginning to arrive, that's okay too. Nothing here demands your attention. You are held either way. Sometimes peace does not feel like joy. Sometimes it feels like quiet. A quiet chest, a quieter mind, a body that no longer resists rest. That is what safety feels like. If this psalm is comforting you tonight, if these words are helping you breathe more easily, you don't need to say much. When you wake, or whenever it feels right, you can simply leave a quiet word in the comments, a short prayer, a single amen, or even just Psalm 91. Not for others, just as a marker, a reminder that you were here, that you were covered, that you were not alone. This space will remain calm for you. You can return to it whenever the night feels heavy, whenever sleep feels distant, whenever fear tries to speak louder than peace. Psalm 91 does not expire. Its shelter does not close. And now, there is nothing left to carry. Let the words fade gently. Let the night be quiet. Nothing has changed outside, but something has changed inside. Your breathing is slower now. Your body no longer feels alert. The night feels less threatening. This is how protection works. Quietly, consistently, without asking for attention. Psalm 91 does not end when the words stop. It continues in the stillness. It continues while you rest, while you drift, while your thoughts soften and fade. You are not exposed in this moment. Even if your mind goes silent, even if sleep takes over, you are still guarded. The one who neither slumbers nor sleeps remains awake. You do not need to check the room. You do not need to listen for danger. Nothing is approaching you right now. The night is doing what it was meant to do. Cover, slow, restore. If fear tries to return, you don't need to engage it. Just remember the shelter. Remember the shadow. Remember the wings. Psalm 91 has already spoken for you. Your job is finished. You are not on watch. You are not responsible for protection. You are resting inside it. Let the silence deepen. Let the space between thoughts grow longer. Nothing needs to be solved before morning. This night is held, and as this calm continues, The words may repeat again, not because they must, but because peace is allowed to circle gently. There is no need to return to the day yet. Morning can wait. This moment belongs to rest. Psalm 91 is not in a hurry, and neither are you. Protection does not rush. It stays. Even if sleep comes and goes, even if thoughts briefly return, you remain covered. The shelter does not collapse when you stop paying attention. The shadow does not disappear when your eyes close. God's presence does not depend on awareness. It remains constant, steady, unchanging. If you wake briefly in the night, you do not need to worry. Just let the words find you again. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Rest, not effort, not vigilance. Rest. Your body knows what to do now. Your breathing knows the rhythm. There is nothing you forgot, nothing you missed, nothing urgent waiting for control. Everything important is already held. Let the night continue its work. Let silence deepen. Let Psalm 91 remain. Quietly, faithfully, and if the words begin again, that is not repetition. That is reassurance. Nothing more is required of you. You have arrived at the place of rest. Psalm 91 has already done what it needed to do. It reminded your soul that you are not fragile in the dark, that you are not unguarded in stillness. That night is not empty. It is watched. If sleep has already come, these words are still with you. If you are hovering between waking and resting, that space is safe too. God is present in both. There is no part of this night that exists outside his care. Not the quiet hours, not the drifting thoughts, not the moments you are unaware. You are not holding yourself together. You are being held. There is no pressure to feel anything specific. Peace does not need to be intense. It does not need to be dramatic. Sometimes peace is simply the absence of resistance, a body that no longer braces, a mind that no longer scans. That is enough. Psalm 91 does not ask you to stay awake to honor it. It invites you to rest inside it. So let go. Let the night pass through gently. Let time move without attention. Nothing bad is waiting in the darkness. The darkness itself is covered. And when morning eventually comes, this protection will still be there. Because there is nothing left to say, only something to remember. You are not alone in the night. Even now, even here, you are covered. The shelter remains. The shadow remains. The presence does not fade. If sleep has taken you, let these words pass quietly. If you are still awake, stay where you are. There is no hurry. Psalm 91 does not end. It stays. It watches while you rest. It holds while you drift. It protects what you cannot. And if, at some point, your awareness gently returns, the words will be here again. Don't ignore this psalm. If you can't sleep, read this psalm slowly and rest.